10th pick here, we had the Cleveland Browns. They picked here, in my opinion, the best O-lineman in the draft. And I think your opinion also the best O-lineman in the draft, Jedrick Wills from Alabama. This was a great pick. I originally
A-plus
here
pick for me.
yeah, I had here also an A-plus pick here because being dead honest, I did not think he'd fall to 10. Uh, he's I initially thought that Andrew Thomas would have fallen to Cleveland because of the Nick Chubb and Andrew Thomas factor and how they both went to UGA. But Jedrick Wills, I think I don't know if you saw Joe Thomas's tweet. He gave like a pros and cons of Andrew Thomas, and he had a lot
Yeah,
of
could you
pros.
read it off for me if you have it on hand?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. In the meantime, can you talk about him?
Yeah, for me, like I said, this is an A-plus pick. Maybe at worst an A. You need an offensive line. You need to protect Baker Mayfield. You got Jack Conklin in free agency. Now you're going out and solidifying that opposite tackle position here with Jedrick Wills. There's a reason why Alabama tackles get drafted really high. You had the guy, I think I'm forgetting his name now, but the guy who went to Cincinnati last year, he was a baller. And now you get Jedrick Wills, who is another baller. Alabama has great tackles, similar to Georgia, and you need it to protect Baker Mayfield, and that's what you are doing here with Jedrick Wills at pick 10 for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I think I already said my grade before. I gave this an A+ as well. So Joe Thomas, probably top 3, top 5 greatest offensive tackles of all time. Amazing. How he also lost all that weight too is also amazing.
Yeah, he lost like 50 pounds real quick.
Yeah. So he tweeted about a couple of days back. Actually, he gave a pros and cons list of all the offensive linemen in the all the offensive linemen that are projected to go day one in the NFL draft. So when he talked about Jedrick Wills, he said the pros are he can change direction. He has the ability to create power, ability to stop power quickly, mobility, technique is clearly the best in the draft, size, and he has great size. And I think you saw that. Did you see his dad? It's like ridiculous. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's a
God.
big family.
It's a big family. But the cons is if you see his tape, he has a lot of mental lapses with the penalties, and he gets lulled to sleep by lesser opponents. So the cons are definitely something that you can easily work on. I think that's not a big deal. And he said overall he's the guy who's the most NFL ready and would clearly be the number one guy if the ceiling for Becton wasn't so high. So he had Mekhi Becton probably as a higher ceiling than Jedrick Wills,
Yeah.
which is fine. I think that's fine. That's reasonable. But I think right now I'm with him. I think and he also said he's for sure the most surefire offensive lineman in this draft, and I agree with him. I think he's right now the most ready out of all the offensive tackles. But it's not like that big of a difference between him and Andrew Thomas. He's a clear right tackle, and I think he's amazing. I like the pick.
Yeah, I watched Brett Coleman. I don't know if you know who that is on YouTube. He's a YouTube film analysis. I guess you could say, and it was his film breakdown of Jedrick Wills and Tristan Wirfs. And if Brett Coleman says these guys are good, I know they're good, and that's pretty much what I use for my film analysis of this guy. I really like what I saw. Everything Joe Thomas said was pretty much everything I saw in that film analysis and what I've seen from personal tape. So good pick, good player. I really like what they're doing down there in Cleveland for their offensive line and Baker Mayfield.